I can't ever go clubbing because this is how my body would move unironically. I could only do a silly little jig.
Side eye. Side eye.
Breaking news coming out of Iran in regards to Armita Abbasi. It is being reported that her lawyers have resigned after they were constantly denied access to meet Armita face-to-face before her upcoming trial. The Islamic regime is doing this so Armita and her lawyers will be unprepared for the trial and won't have a defense. A little backstory on Armita: she is only 20 years old and she was arrested, beaten, and raped by the Iranian security forces back in October for participating in a protest. And her trial is scheduled for January 26th. Because of the Islamic regime's lack of due process and her being constantly denied access to her lawyers, she is at high risk of execution. We need to get international attention on Armita Abbasi, so please say her name and help save her life.
Because when the sunshine will shine together, told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. Took a note, take it up till the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella. And I
Woke M&Ms have returned. The green M&M got her boots back, but apparently is now a lesbian, maybe. And there's also a plus-sized, obese purple M&M. So we're going to cover that, of course, because that's what we do.
Smorwich, I said that IQ tests were racist because they said that white people had higher IQs than black people, and a lot of people were confused by that. The explanation of why it's racist is very easy. Either IQs are reflective of the systemically racist environment that black people and white people grow up in, or the difference is genetic, which there's no evidence for. But if you believe that white people are genetically superior to black people, there is a specific word for that. Yummy s'mores!
Don't care. You're dead. Bitch.
My friend, you wanna cut me in, but I hate to tell you, but it just won't happen. So thanks, but no, I think I'm good to go, cause I quite enjoy the life you say I'm trapped in. Now I admire you, and that'll show you do. You're onto something, really it's something.
Say it. Whiteness gives us access to everything but oppression. That's the one thing we can't colonize.
Madam, your plate!
Oh, someone's pretending to be autistic. They're taking away resources for actual autistic people. What resources? Fidget toys? It's fine. There's plenty.
Coco Moco recently made a video about the Gen Z shake as an act of rebellion. And now I finally have an excuse to talk about the generational shifts between Gen Z and millennials. Okay, so the late 2000s, early 10s, especially the early 10s, were peak millennials in our youth. During these times, we represented youth culture. We dictated what was cool, we set the trends. In fashion, beauty, music, general pop culture, especially when analysing how we were on social media, how we presented ourselves online. For example, on Tumblr, professional photography was favoured. Like, were you even a fashion blogger if you didn't have a DSLR camera? Instagram also transformed into this platform where everyone had to showcase their best highlight reel. So many people, especially the ones who created content, felt pressure to have the perfect profile grid. Even down to the makeup. This was when the Facetune, heavy highlight and contour makeup was really popular. This was a generation that saw the BBL body and cosmetic surgery boom. And as we transitioned into the late 10s, despite the fact that most of us are well into our adult years, and despite the fact that many of Gen Z were already entering adulthood, millennials still had a hold on the culture, which in my opinion kind of forced Gen Z to assimilate and adopt a millennial identity. A great example of this is a video I watched by Kimberly Foster where she spoke about the demise of Kylie Cosmetics. And she pointed out how despite the fact that Kylie is Gen Z, the reason why she struggles to connect with the current generation when it comes to her brand is because she has a very millennial look. And I was like, oh my god, she's so right. Kylie had to go through a millennialification in the mid-2010s in order for her empire that is centered around her image to be successful. She had to get the lip fillers, the BBL, the Instagram makeup. She had to mature her image and assimilate into millennial likeness. And I feel like by 2019 and the early days of the pandemic, there was a shift. Especially during the millennials versus Gen Z skinny jeans debate, which was so funny to me. Gen Z became the new representatives of youth culture. They now set the trends and dictate what is cool. And this goes back to what Coco says about the Gen Z shake being their last act of rebellion. Gen Z establishing their identity is their rebellion. And it's evident in how they brought back Y2K fashion, which millennials thought were cringe when we were younger. Or how they prefer clean makeup over 2010's Instaglam. Or how the way that they present themselves online completely contrasts how we did. They prefer to use blurry digital cameras and post photo dumps on IG. And they have no issue making content on TikTok while looking messy and unpresentable. Gen Z pointing out the millennial pause versus the Gen Z shake is another way of them differentiating themselves from us. It represents a cultural and generational shift. Millennials are all about curated perfection, whereas Gen Z are all about curated imperfection. There's actually so much more that I want to say, but time is running out. I love talking about these things. I'm currently studying sociology. I'm in my final year of undergrad, and so I love analysing like internet culture and talking about like its cultural and social shifts, as well as talking about sexuality and gender too, because that's all a part of sociology. But if you want to hear more of these kind of things from me, just let me know, and also let me know your thoughts in the comments as well.
There's nothing wrong with my body. Fat is not a dirty word. If my body tells me something, I will make sure it is heard. If my body is a vessel, I will give it what it needs.
Don't you even know how to be a real Indian?
I guess not.
Oh shit, no wonder, jeez. I guess I'll have to teach you then, ain't it?
This is breaking news coming out of Iran. Her name is Shahla Abdi. She's in her early 20s, she is 4 months pregnant, and she has been sentenced to execution by the Islamic regime. It is being reported that she has received capital punishment for allegedly setting fire to a portrait of Ayatollah Khomeini, the founder and first supreme leader of the Islamic regime. Shahla is an ethnic Kurd from the northwestern region of West Azerbaijan. You may be thinking it is impossible for a woman to be executed while pregnant, but there are too many examples of Iranian women who were in fact executed while they were pregnant. We need maximum international attention on this case. Shahla and her unborn baby are at high risk of execution. So please, say her name and help save their lives.
What?
Forgive me, I was painting and I saw this comment and I thought to myself, wow, I need to put this person in their place. So that's what we're gonna do. First things first, I want to say that Dylan's a friend and I love her and I hope she's doing good. And secondly, I am nobody's token. Now, you said what you said probably because you think she's a caricature of being a woman. But she's not. She's learning what it is to be a woman for her in front of 10 million people every single day. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't even poop when I think someone else is in a stall next to me. Here's the thing. I think you liked me more than Dylan because you thought I was digestible. You thought I was all the things that Dylan wasn't. But I don't think you've been paying attention. Do not use me against other trans people for your own malicious intentions. There's a whole lot of things that need fixing in this world, and today I try to fix it. Tomorrow, I hope you try.
Woo! Look at the bitch braids.
Thank you. Thank you. Titan has freed us.
Oh, I wouldn't say free. More like under new management.
Right. After all, last night I had performed poetry without excretions of any sort. I was ready for anything, but not for this.
Fuck me, we're fucked.
Taz, what is this?
Shit, okay, I didn't know it was this kind of place. We've just set up in the back. Isn't it perfect? Perfect. It's not really our scene.
Exactly. Lady Parts takes on racist Britain.
These people aren't necessarily racist.
Guys, I think I'm experiencing fear.
Introduction. Give us a song then, sweetheart. Your husband let you out of the house tonight, did he?
I felt like we were in the firing line, ready for our court-martial.
We are Lady Parts. Here's a little something we thought you might like.
Bloody hell.
Shower and the blood starts pumping out on the streets. The traffic starts jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5.
They hated us, but nothing bothered Syra. She was unfazed. It was kind of cool. Time for my solo. Time to play. Come on, Hans. Come on!
Where's my daughter? You know Pocahontas. She has her mother's spirit.
Shit like this brings the movement down. Everyone's a feminist until there is a spider around.